What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Legal Alerts channel. Today, I'm here with Josh Benson and Jalen Fuller here, writers from Legal Alerts, and we're going to be talking about the NBA schedule. We're going to be talking about some free agents and a lot more today in this video. So, what's up, guys?
What's up, man?
What's up?
All right, so let's just get right into it. So, basically, the schedule was released today of how the NBA's playoff 22-team format is going to work. So basically, the July 30th through August 14th will be the seeding games between the 22 teams. August 15th through 16th will be the play-in tournaments. August 17th will be the beginning of the playoffs. August 30th, the families and guests of the teams will arrive, just be there in support for the teams and the players. And August 30th through September 13th will be the conference semifinals. September 15th through September 28th will be the conference finals. September 30th through October 13th will be the NBA finals. So there has been some controversy about, how long the 8 games for the regular season would be, as well as how it would affect the regular season next season, as, we'd probably start in December. Right? Yeah. How do you guys feel about that? Starting in December, an NBA season.
I have no problems with that.
That's perfect for me. I mean, I got my summer off watching basketball. That's all I want.
Yeah, I agree. Honestly, it's going to be a little bit weird, just to get used to it.
I mean, it's no different than the recent lockout seasons.
I'm more concerned about the 8 games in 16 days that teams are going to have to play for the seedings. I think that the last 3-4 years, the league's all been about spreading games out, making sure players can keep healthy, and now they're going to be playing a game every other day. And I imagine we'll see a few more injuries, not big things really, but a few more nagging injuries throughout that. And I don't think players like Kawhi or Paul George.
Kawhi's not playing all those games.
Yeah, there's no way they're playing all that.
Yeah, I agree. Like we talked about in the last video, they're probably going to be resting some players for
Most
sure
definitely.
for those 8 games. But overall, I'm content with, seeing the NBA in August, seeing them over the summer. But, talking about injuries and players, there are some free agents that are ready to play. And those free agents are Isaiah Thomas, J.R. Smith, Jamal Crawford, Joakim Noah, and DeMarcus Cousins. So, who do you guys think should be on a team out of those players?
Definitely DeMarcus Cousins. So last time we saw a healthy DeMarcus Cousins, he was averaging 16 points per game, 8 rebounds, 4 assists while shooting 52% from the field. Without a doubt, I think the Los Angeles Lakers definitely need to consider Boogie because we don't know who's going to be that consistent third option. We know LeBron's going to show up in the playoffs. We know AD's going to show up in the playoffs, but who's going to be that third guy when LeBron and AD go to the bench? Because they can't play the whole game, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I
agree.
I don't think that DeMarcus, if Dwight doesn't play, like he says, he's talking as if he's going to sit out. I'd like to see him go for Noah if I'm a Lakers fan. Much more of a defensive presence than DeMarcus.
Yeah.
DeMarcus is a defensive liability. That's why he couldn't play much in the Raptors series with the Warriors last season. I think that Joakim Noah would do pretty much exactly what they're getting out of Dwight Howard. Maybe not quite as athletic, but better as a defensive leader for the team.
Yeah. And I'm looking here at the Lakers roster. Their only backup center is JaVale McGee. So if Dwight Howard does decide to sit out, it's definitely going to be between the two big men, Joakim Noah and DeMarcus Cousins. But I feel like who is deserving of a spot, I would say more of veterans like J.R. Smith or Jamal Crawford. Their careers are coming.
The problem is Jamal Crawford can't play a lick of defense.
Neither can Boogie.
That's going to be – yeah, I mean, well, at least Boogie's, big. Jamal Crawford, he's 40.
I mean,
40.
I could see
And Jamal Crawford's extremely streaky.
You're talking about the last time we saw players, though. The last time we saw Jamal Crawford, didn't he score 51?
Yeah, 50.
Yeah, but then there was other
He
games
still
he would have
got
like.
buckets though. He still got buckets.
I could see like I could definitely see DeMarcus Cousins being more of like a smart option for teams to take, especially like the
Yeah,
Lakers. But I don't know. I feel like deservingly, it would definitely have to be like the players who like their careers are going to an end, like Jamal Crawford. I don't think he has a ring. Bring
Yeah,
him
but
to the Clippers.
deserving doesn't really matter. What matters is
who the
how
team
much.
needs.
Who are they going to impact the team? Like, I think that just looking at the 5 that we've got that we're talking about, just thinking of ideal teams, I think Isaiah Thomas ideally would go to a team like Orlando. Someone who needs that X factor, someone who can. And obviously, he's not quite Celtics Isaiah Thomas anymore. But if he can have 1 or 2 games where he looks like that and he's close to that, then that's the only chance they have of being even competitive in the first round. I think J.R. Smith he's the one that could go to anybody because what he does when he plays well, everybody needs good defense, 3-point shooting.
I don't know though.
Jamal-
Does Danny Green not do that same exact thing?
Oh yeah. I didn't say he should go to the Lakers. I'm just saying that
Alright.
all teams want wing defenders. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
I completely agree with that J.R. Smith comment though, because he's still like an explosive player, and how old he's like in his late 30s. He's still a very very good player
fair enough.
to have. Obviously, I honestly still like, in my opinion, I don't know why he's not on a team as well as like all these players. They all deserve to be on a team.
well, JR did throw super to coach, so I imagine that isn't helping him, is it?
Yeah.
Plus, teams are probably worried that if they win a ring with him, he'll walk around for a month without a top on.
Well, speaking of J.R. Smith, one of his former teammates, Kyrie Irving, has been putting out a lot of controversial statements. On that player call that they had, I think it was last Friday. How you guys feel about that? How you guys feel about Kyrie's comments?
I don't know what Kyrie's doing. I can't speak for Kyrie, but what he's saying, like he's not gonna play because social injustice. If he's playing in Orlando, he could use that stage to get it more exposed. Have more exposure for the injustice that's going on in the world, versus not doing your job because something that it doesn't really. I mean, it does affect him, but I mean, like, it has nothing to do with going to Orlando. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree, and I believe that Adam Silver, he's been doing very well, like addressing the statements, like with this like social injustice. So I really don't understand. Like he's acting kind of like the NBA is like a fault for this, and if that makes sense.
The NBA has nothing to do with it.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just feel like that's like an excuse.
I mean, you know what Patrick Bev said? Like, if the face of the NBA, LeBron James, is playing, then there's no reason for no one else to play.
Yeah.
For no one else to not be playing, I mean.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm obviously not the person to really have a big opinion, but if a player thinks that what they're going to do will affect change, then I'm with them. I don't like Kyrie as a player, as a Boston fan. I don't like Kyrie particularly, but if he thinks that that's the best way for him to make real changes in the world, then good for him. But I feel like the best way for athletes in the NBA to get their message across and to make change is to use the platform that the league provides, particularly in the playoffs. Every single game, post-game interviews, every single game, pre-game interviews, all the media is going to be there. They can make all the statements they want to, well, there won't be hundreds of media personnel, but ESPN are going to be there. League alerts are going to be there.
Oh yeah,
so
right.
if you want to make a statement, and if you want to try and force big brands to make changes within the organization, then I feel like the NBA playoffs is probably the place to do that.
I agree with you. I believe like if he thinks that's what's right in his heart, then I'm all for that. But in a way, I feel like playing would be the best thing for him to do. Like if he wants to get his message out there. I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of like an excuse not to play in a sense. I don't know.
Just to be clear, this is flat Earth Kyrie we're talking about.
Also,
So whatever he
Kyrie
says automatically.
And compared himself to Martin Luther King Jr. But speaking of players that won't play, do you guys have any word on like anybody who isn't going to play besides like Dwight Howard, Kyrie? Do you guys know anything about that?
Avery Bradley was saying that he might sit out. Also, I saw a report today, I think it might have been Woj, that I'm just having a look. Oh, no, it wasn't Woj. I can't remember who said it, sorry. But Jason Tatum is apparently worried about it because he's obviously in line for a max contract this summer, doesn't want to get injured.
He was pushing for health coverage, so whatever happens to him during this postseason, it's covered automatically by the NBA, so you don't have to pay for it out of his pocket.
Yeah, that was a week ago, but today I've seen that he's apparently considering not playing and not going to Orlando, which just sucks. I really want to play.
Let's say Jason Tatum doesn't play. What do you think is going to happen to the Celtics?
First round exit, without doubt. They're getting
second round. Come on. We still got Kemba, Jaylen Brown, Gordon Hayward, the best defender in the league, Marcus Smart.
Ooh, best defender, you think?
Top five.
Top five.
Yeah, I don't think they'll go out first round.
Unless we match up with Philly first round, and then without Tatum, we'll struggle. But if we get Pacers, even Miami, I feel like we'd be on. But
Tatum's going out the first round without Tatum.
Tatum's our superstar, and with him, we're going to make the finals. So,
all right.
Yeah.
We'll get to that later.
We got to that last episode.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we did. So back to the calendar. How do you guys feel about the family and guests, like them going to the bubble?
I mean, I assume it's going to be pretty much a swap. The teams that got knocked out, all their personnel leave. And then I'm imagining a similar number of people are going to be joining the teams. So it's not really that big of a deal to me. I think that obviously you want your family there to watch you in the playoffs. So I'm quite happy with that happening. As long as it's not like every player gets 20 guests, which I don't imagine it will be.
Yeah. But do you think that could raise any sort of concern between players and staff of teams? Just considering because there's going to be a lot of people coming in and out. It could.
I don't think they'll be coming in and out, though. I think they'll be coming and staying. And then, obviously, when teams get knocked out, their family and friends leave.
So, speaking of the bubble, we didn't really explain that yet. So, the bubble, basically, that's where teams are going to be playing, right? Or practicing, having scrimmages, I believe. Yeah,
it's just the whole Disney World resort that the players and media and stuff have access to. There was a 113-page release on that recently. I didn't read it. But apparently one of the rules is that when playing ping pong, they should try and avoid playing doubles matches to stay 6 feet apart from each other. I thought that was quite fun. I actually thought that was amazing.
That's super random.
That's the thing they're saying is there's going to be plenty of entertainment there for them. Like apparently they're hiring DJs and they're going to have 2K set up in the lounges, ping pong tables, apparently lawn games. I imagine that stuff like softball. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. So these are it was released where the players would be staying and all the teams. So the Lakers, the Clippers, the Nuggets, the Jazz, the Bucks, the Raptors, the Celtics, and the Heat will be staying at the Grand Destino Tower. Pacers, the 76ers, the Nets, the Magic, the Thunder, the Rockets, the Mavericks, and the Grizzlies will be staying at the Grand Floridian. And, the lower-seeded teams, the Blazers, the Pelicans, Kings, Spurs, Suns, and Wizards will be staying at the Yacht Club.
I'm not sure if you guys have seen it, but I think the Blazers are the winners here. Have you seen the yacht club? That actually looked.
How
The
they
yacht
give the
club
worst teams the
it looks
best?
brilliant.
The worst teams got the best hotels.
So like, I don't understand why they released that. So what was like the point of that?
I imagine they released it because people were complaining that teams that have done well in the regular season have no advantage, and then the leagues just go in, look, you can stay in the nicest hotels. I imagine that's what it is. Nah, I can't think of any other reason, to be honest.
Yeah, but
Yeah, that's the only reason I could really come to a conclusion on.
yeah, so like their practice facilities, they'll have 2 practice courts, weight and training areas, and locker rooms. So that's nice, obviously.
Is it 2 courts per team, or is it 2 courts as
per
a league?
practice arena, I believe.
Yeah, is that? Oh, so will they be allocated different times? I'm assuming then.
Yes, yeah. All right. So, how do you guys feel about the September to October NBA Finals?
Nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong.
When is the NFL season start? It's around that sort of time, right?
Yeah.
I think NFL season starts around August.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I imagine that there's 2 ways it can go. Either people are so starved of sports that everybody's going to be watching everything, which is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be watching every bit of sport I can get my hands on this summer. So the viewing numbers may go up, but I feel like sport will have been back long enough by then that the novelty of having it back will have worn off. So I imagine viewing numbers for the finals, unless it's a team like the Lakers Bucks, I feel like that'll have big numbers. I think it may go down because the NFL's return.
Ooh, actually,
I don't watch the NFL anyway, so.
I believe since it'll be like the playoffs, I think the NBA, in my opinion, will blow out the NFL's numbers just because it's like the finals. Like around the time that they start with the NFL, it will be the conference semifinals. So that'll be pretty important. So I feel like sports fans would, rather tune into playoff matches, more high intense games than just regular season or preseason football.
Historically, the NFL always gets higher viewing numbers.
Yeah,
Even
but
like
it's
regular season.
It's the postseason of the NBA and the regular season of the NFL, though. So I don't know how that's going to.
Regular season Dallas games regularly outperform NBA playoff games. So what happens if, I don't know, Dallas are playing, I don't know the schedule, but if Dallas are playing someone like Kansas or Tampa, whilst the finals are on, that's going to be a massive problem for the NBA when they're trying to get as much money back as possible from the earnings lost because of the cancelled regular season.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's definitely going to interfere a lot with like viewing numbers and money brought in for both organizations, the NFL and the NBA. But we'll have to watch and see. But speaking of the league, there has been talks about a new league forming, and it's Kyrie Irving's new league. What do you think?
No one's joining that. That's not happening.
Anybody that even considers joining it, if I feel like the NFL the NBA should seize the players' phones and see if anybody's texted Kyrie going, "Yo, what's this new league about?" And anybody that's even texted him about it should be immediately banned from the league and never allowed.
Hard.
Well,
it's hard.
I think this should just be
I don't think anybody's leaving the NBA to go play in Kyrie Irving's basketball league. It's not happening.
Well, it was he first brought it up. It was reportedly in a Nets group chat.
Yeah,
and I guess that got out. I don't know. I think the guy's delusional.
Full of KD, Kyrie, the 2 most delusional people in the league.
It's full of flat earth Kyrie and Spencer. I want to get paid in online currency Dinwiddie. So I don't see these plans getting very far. And if they do, I'll probably still end up watching them. But that's just because I miss basketball.
You know what? Let's take a step back here from the playoffs and let's talk about how Hakeem Olajuwon said that James Harden is on the same level as Michael Jordan.
I
Oh,
lost a lot
I
of
didn't
respect
see
for the
this.
dream. I lost a lot of respect for the dream today. A lot.
In my opinion, I believe James Harden is the most overrated player in the NBA today.
Ooh,
I
I think
Okay.
he is.
He's
that
pretty
is
overrated.
He is so overrated.
Why is he overrated?
The free throws. I know it's kind of like, very.
I mean, you can't blame other teams for fouling him.
But you should see the fouls that he gets.
Okay,
refs-
but how does that make him overrated? He still scores the same amount of points as he does. He's not overrated. Nobody says he's the best player in the league. Most people have him borderline top 5, and that's
I mean,
overrated. That's
but
exactly.
if he's being
I
compared to
agree
Michael
with that.
Jordan, he's overrated.
Oh yeah.
I
Okay,
think he
so
was just talking about specifically their scoring prowess. In that case, I mean, he's not far off, but I'd most definitely take Michael Jordan to get me a bucket over James Harden.
100%.
oh yeah, I'm not saying that.
110%.
Can we just stop on this overrated thing a minute though? Because I want to know why you think he's overrated. You think he's overrated because he shoots a lot of free throws?
Not
Michael
just because
Jordan
he shoots,
shot 11 a game some seasons.
not just because he shoots a lot of free throws. Just I don't know. I just feel like he shoots too much. He's too much of like a ISO type.
Oh no! I think he knows I think I know what he's talking about. So you mean like James Harden, to get the points that he gets, he has to get a rhythm. He has to catch a rhythm to get those points. Basically, he's either gonna step back three or he's gonna lay it up, and he does that constantly, game in and game out. He doesn't care if he goes 3 for 20. He doesn't care if he goes 16 for 20. He just wants his 40 points. That's basically what Fabrizio said.
Okay, but his effective field goal's high. It's not like he's.
It's not Curry high, but he's not inefficient like the multitude of people would say he is.
Yeah, so
his
he
true shoot percentage ranks 14th ever.
Do you say his true shooting is 14th ever?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't want to hear nothing about inefficient.
I never said he was inefficient.
No, you. But going like, he takes loads of shots. Yeah.
The average fan base would say he's inefficient, but I don't agree with that at all.
Yeah.
But I think Fab just said that he shoots a lot to get his points. Yeah, he does shoot a lot to get his points, but that's because he needs to. What are the Rockets going to do if he takes 5 less shots a game? Do you want PJ Tucker taking them 5 shots? As much as I love PJ Tucker, I prefer James Harden.
I'd rather have Westbrook. You also have Russell Westbrook on that team.
Yeah.
I'm not giving Westbrook the 3 over Harden, but you can't.
I'm not giving Westbrook the layup over Harden.
You don't think you're giving Westbrook the layup over Harden?
No.
Wow.
No.
I'm giving that to Westbrook.
Game in your hands down to who's getting the ball, Harden or Westbrook.
Obviously Harden, but I'm saying at the 3, yeah, for sure. The 3 for sure. I would definitely say Harden's better. But
I really want to have a conversation about this. Russell Westbrook, right? He shoots 47.4% from the field, right?
What's his effective field goal percentage? Effective field goal percentage, EFG.
Give me a second.
I'm pretty sure it's like horrible.
Yeah, it's like it is pretty poor if I remember right. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure.
Because I know that new Basketball Reference statistic, adjusted field goal percentage, adjusted shooting percentage. That's what they call it.
Yeah, I've seen it. I haven't looked into it.
Westbrook's like 3 points under league average. It's awful.
Okay, so his EFG is 49.5. Let me just get you Harden's because I guarantee you.
Harden's like 53. I know that off the bat. It's like 53 for his career. I don't know like this specific season, but for his career.
So this season, his EFG 53.
Yeah, he blows Westbrook out the water when it comes to efficiency.
And his true shooting is 61.
When you factor in his free throws and the amount of threes he takes, 61, without a doubt. Yeah, like I said, he's not Curry when it comes to efficiency, but
he's not overrated though. Maybe historically, but right now in the league, he's not. He's the 5th, 6th, or 7th best player in the league, and I don't see anybody putting him higher than that.
No, I would say, yeah, for sure. Like, he's one of the top 10, top 5 maybe. But I'm saying if you're being compared to Michael Jordan.
Offensively, he could be compared to Michael Jordan. Offensively.
Did he say
He could be.
offensively, or did he say like
I don't know
overall?
what he said. If you're talking about straight scoring prowess, then yeah, I could see you comparing James Harden to Michael Jordan in that aspect of the game. But player
James
to player,
Harden's-
not even close.
James Harden's probably a top 5 scorer of all time.
He attempts.
Yeah,
He attempts
He's top 10,
12.6
top
threes
10.
a game. Wow.
top 10.
Okay, sure, top 10 then, all time. That's not.
That's not a knock.
But
Hakeem may overrate him, but I don't think generally people do.
I don't know. I think like how people are saying that he was robbed of MVP by Giannis. Like I think that's complete BS. Giannis definitely deserved it over him, in my opinion.
Well, the problem
That's
with that
also
is
a reason.
Harden's been both sides of the debate, right? In 2017, Westbrook
He got
got it.
robbed by Westbrook.
Yeah,
He was
so in,
robbed
in,
blind
in
by Westbrook.
2017, Westbrook had the 30-point triple-double for the season and led his team to like 42 wins. And Harden had his stats were a bit less impressive, but he won more games and he lost it then. And then he won it when he was the 1 seed in the league and had the best stats. And then he lost it on the other side of the argument where he had better stats than Giannis, but Giannis won like 8 more games, I think it was. So if you want to say that he deserved that one, that's fine. Or if you want to say he deserved the Westbrook one, that's fine as well. But he gets a lot of hate that I don't like. I think he's a brilliant player, and he's just clever enough to have worked out, it's probably easier shooting free throws than it is to drive into the lane and get hit by a 7-footer.
Yeah, but I feel like a lot of his free throws are like the fouls that he gets. Like if you watch Rockets games, like they're very, very soft fouls.
And Harden, he gets those fouls because he sells the contact to an all-time great level.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. He could sell the fouls. He could sell the fouls. I mean, I definitely agree. Like he's top 5. He's definitely top 5 right now. But if you're comparing to Michael Jordan,
No, I haven't seven.
Are you including Curry and Durant to it?
Curry and Durant,
Are you including them? Because if so, I have him 6th.
ooh, I would say right now, yeah, I would say maybe 5
Are you including Curry and
Without
Durant?
Curry and KD.
with Curry and KD.
You have
With
him
Curry
5.
and KD on top of them.
Okay, so who's below him? Kawhi, Giannis, or LeBron?
No, I would say. I would say Kawhi. Oh no. I would say Harden. Harden. No,
Just
Kawhi's
put him at
above
6.
Harden.
Just put him at 6.
Kawhi's above Harden. Kawhi's above
So
Harden.
Harden's 6th.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I could. Yeah.
I have Harden 7th.
AD above him.
Yes.
I would say.
As much as Harden hasn't won in the playoffs, he's won more than AD, and right now that's enough for me to put him above him.
I mean, AD's had nobody on his teams in New Orleans.
And he got
Oh, well.
played by Boogie Cousins.
It's not Harden's fault he had decent players. AD should have done more. There we go.
I mean,
He's missed the playoffs a bunch. He had a good enough team to make the playoffs.
he's
Harden
made-
would have made the playoffs with his supporting cast.
If Boogie
Yeah,
Cousins
that's
if Boogie never got injured, do you think the Pelicans team would have went far that year? What was it, 2017?
The Pelicans went to I believe, the semifinals till they ran to the Warriors, and they were actually doing better without Boogie Cousins than with Boogie Cousins.
Yeah, Boogie puts up nice stats, but
Yeah, the floor space, he's not a good fit next to AD because then AD's asked to shoot, and he's not allowed to do what he actually excels in doing and scoring in the paint and post-ups and Tatum.
it's almost the Embiid and Ben Simmons thing, where they both take away from what they do best. But because nobody watches New Orleans, they didn't get criticized for it.
Yeah.
I also I saw an article that John Wall agrees with Kyrie Irving, so he's not playing basically.
John Wall's not playing anyway.
I thought he was supposed to come back.
There was talks. Apparently, that's changed. I mean, like we've said, if that's what they think's gonna make the biggest impact, then go for it.
Yeah,
Do your
it
thing.
says-
It would be a shame if he came back and tore that Achilles again.
It'd be a shame if he like just tripped and broke his leg in his house again.
Yeah, what did he do? Was he like cleaning the floor and slipped or something? Like, what's up?
He like
with that?
tripped down a stair. I thought it was a step, and he tripped down it.
That's tragic.
I hear Disney World got quite steep steps as well, so
But it says that he agrees with Kyrie Irving, but also it says that he just doesn't feel safe. So I don't think it's more of like a social injustice.
It's more of a COVID thing than a
Yeah,
social
yeah.
thing in that
But
case.
like it says here that he agrees with Kyrie Irving, but maybe like he agrees to like an extent, like they shouldn't play, but like for different reasons. All right.
yeah. I can't remember where I saw it, but I think it was Chris Broussard was saying that he loves the premise of the players realizing the power that they have and the leverage that they have, but he'd prefer to see a plan rather than just sitting out for the sake of sitting out.
Yeah. I feel like that's with a lot of players. If they do decide to sit out, it's just going to be sitting out just to sit out. Just like they don't get injured, I think it's or like just to stay safe.
If any player is doing it because they're worried about COVID, that's completely fine. If they're worried about the coronavirus, like do what's best for you and your family. If they're doing it because of social injustice and police brutality, and they think that's the best way to affect change, then do that as well. It's such a weird time in the world and in the United States that there is no real right answer.
Yeah.
I would still say the platform the NBA playoffs provides for the players is a much easier way to affect the social injustice point than just not playing and not doing your job.
Yeah. Also, I would agree. Like Josh said, like if you aren't playing because of COVID-19, then yeah, like that's completely fine. Because there are players who just had like children, and babies are like affected by that a lot if they do get it because of like their weak immune systems. Like I believe Jason Tatum has like a 1-year-old, right? And
So
yeah. So like if he decides not to play, like this is just like hypothetically, if he just
fault
doesn't
him for that.
Yeah, you can't blame him for that. But like if it is for like social injustice, I feel like the best way to like fight against that is to go to Orlando and speak to the media.
Yeah.
And put pressure on the corporations that employ you to be the face of them. Like I feel like I'm not 100% sure on this, so I might be wrong, but I feel like Nike and Adidas and the sports companies tend to be pretty good at it. But State Farm and who obviously have Chris Paul working for them, and is it James Harden?
Harden is on there too.
So companies like that, you can definitely put pressure on them to force them to employ more black people in managerial positions.
Yeah.
And so it represents the makeup of the country. I think it's like 13% of the United States population are black. So I don't imagine that State Farm have the same ratio employed.
Yeah. And also speaking on corporations like Nike, they added a company holiday called Juneteenth.
Yep.
Which is basically it was a day that slavery was abolished, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it was the day that the slaves actually got the news, because after the Emancipation Proclamation was signed by Lincoln, the slaves weren't just automatically freed. They had to wait for the South to lose the Civil War, and then the slaves were freed from the plantations.
Yeah.
So Nike made that a federal holiday for their workers.
Yeah, so props up to Nike for that. That's actually sick because it's a paid company holiday. So like that's one of the examples of a corporation doing very, very good with that. But yeah, I agree. Like you need to get these corporations to get a message out there. Like they have huge platforms. very, very big platforms. They have ads on the TV. They have Twitter accounts, Instagram accounts with millions of followers. That's where they need to, like, get their message out there, because social injustice is a real thing. And police brutality as well, very, very huge problem here in the United States. I don't know if it's, like, a huge thing in the UK. So, like,
it's less common in the UK, but it still happens. I'm not even gonna lie. I thought that it was basically not a problem here, but since George Floyd's murder, I've been learning a lot more about social injustice here, and I didn't realize, but there's a city called Bristol not far from me, and basically every big venue in the place was named after a slave trader. And Colston, his name was, and his statue got toppled, and the concert venues named after him are changing their names, and the schools named after him are changing their names. So it's obviously a tragic event, and it's not the first, but it may be the case that it was the catalyst for real change.
Yeah, I 100%. I 100% believe, like, the voices that have been putting out statements, like all the corporations, players, and just like ordinary people as well, just with protests as well. Like, this could be huge for that, because it could really, like, spark a huge change, like, in society. But yeah, moving past, like, the more political side, we talked about schedule, we talked about free agents, Kyrie and his comments, as well as, like, the players that won't play because of, that call. So you guys have any other, like, opinions or anything else to say before we end off the video?
I am very interested to see how this season's lockdown and the lack of income that the leagues had affects free agency in the next few years, because I feel like it's not just going to be this year, it's probably going to be next year as well. Players like Giannis are up for the Supermax, and I feel like the lockdown has made it basically certain that he's going to sign with the Bucks for another 5 years.
Yeah.
They're the only, and I imagine it'll be this summer as well, before
the cap
before the caps adjusted, and he's in line for, I believe, 250 million over 5 years, and no team.
Supermax this year, right?
Yeah, Supermax. I think the actual number is 247 over 5 years.
Yeah.
But no other team will be able to offer him anywhere near that. I believe the closest a team could get would probably be I believe it's 140 something over 4 years, and that's if the cap doesn't get adjusted next summer.
I think Giannis is definitely going to stay in Milwaukee, but there could, we never know. We thought KD was going to go to the Knicks, so
no, we didn't.
Don't remind me of that.
Anybody that thought KD was going to the Knicks forgot that they are an absolute train wreck of a franchise.
Yeah. My whole family's Knicks fans. We hate James Dolan.
Tell them I said hello.
Hate James Dolan. That dude. Piece of trash.
Awful.
All right, so we're going to close out the video here, guys. I hope you enjoyed. We did talk about a lot today. It's been League Alerts. I'm here with Josh Benson, Jalen Fuller, and Fabrizio Gonzalez, and we'll talk to you guys later. Peace.